Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Ormsby Farm. So today is the video for week 2 of our Pantry Challenge, the Three Rivers Challenge, hosted by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. It's a little bit chill. It's supposed to be getting colder and it's wet and nasty here in Georgia today. So I wanted to start this video off with saying that, of course, we are still on a roll with doing just food that is either canned food or grown or frozen or raised here on the farm. And we did dinners, and I actually had an interesting breakfast that I shot too. So without further ado, let's get into the intro and get into our meals for week 2 of the Three Rivers Challenge.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, it's the start of a new week, and tonight we are doing spaghetti squash and a tomato sauce with venison meat. So I'm seasoning both of the sides. I've scraped out the inside of the spaghetti squash, and I'm gonna stab some holes on the top, and I'm gonna put them into a 350 degree oven for the time will be down below. With my venison meat, I added a little bit of ground pork as well, and added my regular seasoning, ground onion powder, garlic powder, can't remember what else. That's my tomato sauce going. Once it's bubbling and brought up to a boil, I'm going to dump it in with the meat and stir it and let it sit, and I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in there. Now I'm going to start on my garlic bread. This is some butter, some herbs, everything will be down below, and I'm going to rub it and put it into my homemade hoagie rolls. And I'm going to put it into a broiled oven. That's after I pulled out the spaghetti squash, and they should be nice and tender after about 35 minutes. Again, I'll leave everything down below, but you'll feel it, they'll feel moist. I'm going to flip them over, and then I'm going to use a fork, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start scraping the inside. And it's going to start looking like shredded kind of cheese or spaghetti noodles. So that's all I'm doing. Y'all, it's so easy and it's so delicious and healthy for you. This is a great alternative if you're trying to get pasta out of your diet. We're not. I just had a lot of spaghetti squash that grew in my winter garden. So I'm going to scrape it pretty much down to the skin. I'll leave some. And then I'm going to mix it with the sauce and pour it back in. Look how delicious that looks, y'all. Let me tell you, I truly prefer spaghetti squash over spaghetti noodles. And this is the first time that I did it, was use the venison meat. I had never had ground venison meat, or I've never cooked it myself, and it was so freaking delicious. Let me tell you. And don't worry, the dogs are eating out of the pantry too. It is, we had canned pumpkin, and it's put on their food. So they are joining in on the challenge as well, because we canned a lot of pumpkin this year. All right, y'all, the next thing is I don't show too many of the breakfasts, but I pulled out some leftover French toast bread that did not sell over the holiday. Well, this loaf didn't, and it was in the freezer, and I pulled it out and made French toast. It was amazing. All right, night 2, which was a Tuesday, I'm doing my regular standard white loaf recipe. I'm putting it in my mixer. All of it will be down below. I'll also attach the video of me making the loaf bread, and it will come to a dough ball. I take it out, I oil a bowl, and I stretch my dough, and I let it sit there, punching it down every 30 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to start on our appetizers. Y'all, this right here is why I like to pre-make and do frozen appetizers, because you pull it out, you cook it, temperature down below, and then you have a great appetizer. We're also doing some canned soup tonight because it was a very cold night. And so we pulled a chicken and veggie out and a turkey stew. I have the turkey stew. You'll have to excuse the chicken and veggie top. It looked a little cray. And the dough was rising, so that was a good thing. I'm also using, for the first time, thanks Sis Tara. She got me this for Christmas. Isn't it gorgeous? It is my cast iron Dutch oven, and I'm putting it into a 450 degree oven for 25 minutes, okay? And then you take, after the dough is ready, I'm gonna cut an X in the top. You're supposed to put it in on some parchment paper. I didn't have it, so I used my cookie sheet and put it back in the oven, top on, for about 20 minutes. Take it out, take the top off, and put it back into the oven for another 10. I'm bringing my soup up to a boil. And then I'm pulling out that soup, or the bread that is now nice and crunchy. Crunch, crunch. Y'all, tonight, it was so easy. It was so quick. It was a nice, delicious, hearty meal. This is the first time that I've kind of done artisan loaf. It cut beautifully. It was delicious. This meal was so good because I was jumping on a live with Tony from Kettle Kitchen and playing game night, which I won, y'all. Whoop, whoop. Okay, next night, third night. I wish I would have showed you before. It is my macaroni and cheese in a jar. So I dump all the contents of the pint jar in there and a pint of water. Stir it up as best as you can. And then you're going to bring it to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, turn it to low. See this right here? It is right here. Turn it to a low. They will all spread out. And cover it and just let it sit at low. It will thicken up, y'all, and it will make the most delicious. Oh, look at it right there. Ooh, yes. Macaroni and cheese. All right, y'all. I'm frying some chicken tonight. Y'all know my fry batter. I'll put it again down below. I did it on last week's video. I do my chicken breasts. I'm going to put those fried chicken breasts and my asparagus all in the air fryer at the same time. I'm doing 380 for 25 minutes. And look at that beauty. Look at that. I even had to wipe the screen a little bit because it was getting a little steamy. Even my phone was getting steamy. The asparagus is so charred and beautiful, and I'm telling you, it was a crispy crust on this chicken. It is so delicious. There's not much oil that's involved with it, so it's healthy. All right, next night. It is Mexican night, as you can tell. I've used my homemade tortillas. I've cut them up in 8, and I have cooked them in an oven to make some chips and salsa. Everything will be down below on how to make those chips. I did them last week also. And if you're wondering, what do you have with chips and salsa? That's right, it's a margarita. And I like to get the wineritas and separate them into jars and freeze them so I can have them each time. Same thing as I did last week, onions and peppers, tablespoon of the seasoning. Once those are soft, I add in the meat. Same thing. Quesadilla, it's delicious, it's wonderful. Y'all know how much we love Mexican food here at Ormsby Farm, and it's such a simple one, especially now that I've learned these tortillas. It's great, it's wonderful. All right, y'all, Friday night was super, super crazy busy, so I didn't get much video, but I'm using the apple barbecue sauce to make some barbecue chicken. This apple barbecue sauce, I learned from Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. It is so delicious. I'm putting it in a 350-degree oven for about an hour. Right now, I'm making some homemade, honey mustard sauce because I put in some homemade cheese sticks as appetizers. I believe that's the same crust that I do for my chicken. And this is the final meal. Air fryer potatoes. It's simple. Y'all know I can my potatoes. And then when I am wanting them, I pop a can open. I drain the water. I throw it in to 380 degrees for probably about 15 minutes. Best potatoes ever. All right, Saturday night was a football night. Y'all, it was some of the big games. So we had some of these amazing sourdough crackers from a local bakery that were absolutely amazing. And I went ahead and pulled out one of those cheese dip frozen blocks, homemade salsa. It's more of the potato skins and some of my stuffed jalapenos. And we threw that kind of like this little appetizer platter. They're all were frozen. Y'all know I love it. We also threw in some wings as well. So these were some air fryer wings. I do the wings at 400 for about 20 minutes and they get nice and delicious and crispy. And then about 2 tablespoons of sauce at the bottom. Throw the hot wings on top of it. Toss it in a bowl. You're going to get that beautiful kind of coating of it. All right. Sunday was a super, super crazy busy day at church. We had big meetings and we had our chili cook-off. So it was, when we got home, we really were that crazy hungry and we had to do this fast. Salmon and some rice. So delicious. Alrighty, y'all. And that was week 2 of the food. Again, I will leave all of the cooking times and ingredients, if it's a recipe that I do, down in the description box. All the stuff that I use, y'all know, is in my Amazon storefront. So just click that link down below. It will take you to it. It costs you no more money, but it just tells Amazon you came from me. And y'all be sure to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of the growth that I've been getting. I appreciate each and every one of y'all so very much. I cannot even explain, but make sure y'all are subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you know that anytime that new content drops to the channel. And go ahead and follow me on social media. All of the channels are here on the screen at Ormsby Farms. And I will see you on the next video. And until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week and be blessed.
I'm coming